Some people mistake silence for weakness. Others confuse calmness for ignorance. But what they fail to see is the divine intelligence working silently within you. True intelligence is not how loud you speak. It's how deeply you see. It's not how much you say, but how wisely you act. And that wisdom, that depth, it doesn't come from books or degrees. It comes from Allah. And when Allah chooses to gift someone with insight, not everyone around them will understand it. They'll feel it. But they won't be able to handle it. 1. True intelligence is a divine gift, not a personal achievement. Real intelligence doesn't come from books, schools, or how many certificates you hang on your wall. It's not something you earn on your own. It's something Allah gives. Your ability to think deeply, understand complex matters, recognize right from wrong, and see things that others miss. That's not because you're better or smarter. It's because Allah chose to bless you with that insight. You didn't create your own brain. You didn't design your own mind. You didn't decide how aware, sharp, or reflective you would be. Allah did. He shaped your heart, your thoughts, and your ability to connect the dots. That's why someone with little formal education can sometimes speak with more wisdom and truth than someone who studied for years in the world's top universities. A simple, sincere believer may spot the truth instantly, while a so-called intellectual might stay lost in confusion. This is what Allah reminds us in the Quran when He says, "He gives wisdom to whom He wills, and whoever has been given wisdom has certainly been given much good." Surah Al-Baqarah 2269. Wisdom is not about how much you know, it's about how clearly you see. It's about knowing when to speak, when to stay silent, and how to act in a way that pleases Allah. And that clarity doesn't come from your own efforts alone. It's a mercy from your Creator. So never feel proud in a way that makes you look down on others. Don't act like your intelligence makes you more important than someone else. Because the moment you think your wisdom is something you built all by yourself, you've already lost the humility that real intelligence requires. Stay grateful, stay grounded. Recognize that your mind is a gift, not a trophy to show off, but a trust to use wisely. 2. Not everyone is meant to understand you. Sometimes in life, when Allah gives you a higher level of understanding, a clearer way of thinking, or a deeper way of seeing things, the people around you may not be able to keep up. That's not because you're better than them, but because everyone is on their own path, at their own level of growth. When your heart is focused on truth, when your thoughts are deeper and your actions are more intentional, others might not recognize what you're doing or why. You may say something wise, but others misunderstand you. You may choose to stay quiet instead of arguing, and they say you're cold or distant. You may walk away from gossip, drama, or pointless conversations, and people might call you arrogant or think you're acting superior. But none of these labels define you. And here's the truth: you were not created to be understood by everyone. Your intelligence, your clarity, your discipline, they are not there to impress others. They are there to protect your soul and guide your steps on the path that Allah has chosen for you. When Allah lifts your mind, your focus shifts. You begin to see things that others don't notice. You start to care about what really matters: your faith, your peace, your purpose. And because of that, you'll start to move differently. You'll think before you speak. You'll choose solitude over noisy company. You'll value your time and energy more. And that shift makes people uncomfortable. But don't let it shake you. Don't let their opinions pull you back down. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your growth. Let people laugh. Let them doubt you. Let them talk behind your back. It doesn't matter. Because your mission is not to be understood. Your mission is to walk the path Allah laid out for you, even if you have to walk it alone. 3. Intelligence shows in what you avoid, not just what you do. Many people think intelligence is only about what you say or how much you know. They believe being smart means having quick answers, speaking with confidence, or showing off knowledge. But true intelligence, the kind that comes from Allah, is not just shown in what you do, but also in what you choose not to do. A truly wise person doesn't rush into every situation. They pause, they reflect, they hold back when necessary. That's what makes them different. While a fool might jump into arguments, chase attention, or always try to prove a point, a person with real understanding knows that not everything deserves a response. They don't argue just to win. They don't clap back at every insult. They don't waste time proving themselves to people who don't matter. Why? Because they see beyond the surface. They've learned to recognize when something is a trap. They know that sometimes the enemy isn't outside of them, it's inside in the form of pride, ego, or anger. So they walk away, not because they're weak, but because they're strong enough to control themselves. This is why the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us the deep value of silence. He said, "Whoever remains silent has been saved." Think about that. Saved from what? Saved from saying something they'll regret. Saved from useless fights. Saved from fueling negativity. Because words are powerful. Once they leave your mouth, they can't come back. That's why intelligent people treat their words like treasure. Not to be wasted, not to be thrown around carelessly. They know that silence, in the right moment, speaks louder than any clever comeback. They know that Allah is watching and that patience is often the smarter choice. So, next time you're tempted to react, remember, walking away doesn't make you weak. Choosing silence doesn't make you small. It means your intelligence is working. It means your wisdom is guiding you. And it means you're walking in the footsteps of those who truly understood the value of self-control. 4. Most people are threatened by what they can't understand. One of the hardest things to accept in life is this. People will often feel uncomfortable around you not because you've done something wrong, but because they simply don't understand you. When Allah blesses you with a deep mind, clear vision, or uncommon wisdom, it makes you different. And what is different is often feared, not celebrated. You may notice that when you start thinking in ways others don't, they begin to treat you differently. You ask deep questions, and they say you're overthinking. You stay quiet when others are arguing, and they say you're cold or arrogant. You choose to focus on purpose and growth instead of trends and gossip, and they say you're boring or disconnected. But the truth is, they're not reacting to you. They're reacting to something they don't understand. Your depth, your focus, your peace. And rather than admitting that they feel small or confused in the presence of your calm, they attack it, they joke about it, they reject it. This is a normal part of growth. When Allah opens your heart to higher thinking and a more refined way of living, not everyone around you will celebrate that change. Some will feel left behind. Some will feel exposed. Your silence will make them nervous. Your self-control will make them question their own behavior. And instead of being inspired by you, some will choose to resent you. But don't let that pull you down. It's human nature to fear what we don't understand. And just like people feared the prophets and mocked the righteous throughout history, you too may be misjudged, laughed at, or excluded. But remember, your worth isn't based on people's approval. It's based on Allah's guidance. If He elevated your thinking, there's a reason. You've been chosen to see clearly in a world full of confusion. That is not a burden. It's an honor. So don't dim your light just because others can't handle its brightness. Don't shrink your intelligence to make others feel comfortable. Stay kind, stay respectful, but never apologize for your clarity. It is a gift, and like every gift from Allah, it will not be understood by all. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them misunderstand. Your goal is not to be accepted by everyone. Your goal is to stay true to what Allah has shown you, even if it means walking alone. 5. Divine intelligence makes you reflect, not react. One of the most powerful signs of true intelligence is not how fast you respond, but how deeply you reflect. In a world that constantly pushes us to react instantly, argue back, and prove ourselves, those who are truly wise pause before speaking, think before acting, and choose stillness over chaos. When Allah blesses you with intelligence, He also gives you something even more valuable: clarity of thought. This clarity becomes your inner compass. It tells you when to speak and when to remain silent, when to act and when to wait, when to fight and when to walk away. You no longer live as a slave to your emotions or your ego. You learn to respond with wisdom, not react with impulse. Most people are reactive by nature. They hear something they don't like and they snap. Someone offends them and they attack back. But those who are guided by divine intelligence do something rare. They pause. They ask themselves important questions like, is this worth my energy? Will this please Allah? What would the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, do in this situation? And in that moment of reflection, they make a powerful choice. They choose patience over pride, silence over shouting, and understanding over ego. This doesn't mean they're weak. In fact, it takes far more strength to stay calm when you're provoked than it does to explode in anger. It takes deep control to hold your tongue when your heart wants to speak. That's the strength of someone whose intelligence is rooted in faith. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The strong person is not the one who can wrestle others down. The strong person is the one who controls himself when he is angry." This shows us that true power is not physical. It's emotional and spiritual control. It's the ability to remain still in the middle of the storm. When Allah gives you this kind of intelligence, you no longer feel the need to defend yourself all the time. You don't waste energy on people who don't matter. You don't argue just to be right. You become more focused on your peace than on proving a point. You walk away from arguments, not because you're afraid, but because you see that winning the battle might cost you your peace, and it's not worth it. You start to realize that your energy is sacred, your time is valuable, and your emotions are not tools for others to control. You belong to Allah, and your mission is to please Him, not to impress people or defeat them in debates. So remember this. When you feel anger rising, when you're tempted to react, take a deep breath, step back, reflect. Ask yourself, what will bring me closer to Allah in this moment? And then act, or stay silent, with intention. Because true intelligence isn't just about having the right answer. It's about choosing the right action at the right time, even if that action is simply choosing peace. 6. You can't teach depth to shallow minds. One of the hardest lessons intelligent people must learn is this: you cannot force someone to understand what they're not ready to see. No matter how clearly you explain yourself, no matter how patiently you speak, some people will never truly listen because their hearts aren't open and their minds aren't prepared to go deeper. It's like trying to pour the ocean into a tiny cup. It simply cannot hold it. When Allah gives you depth, the ability to think beyond surface-level distractions, to see the hidden meanings behind events, to reflect on life with sincerity and purpose, not everyone will appreciate it. In fact, many will resist it. They may call you too serious, too deep, too intense. They may laugh at your values, question your silence, or mock your discipline. But the problem isn't you. It's that they're operating at a different level, one that is shallow, rushed, and often distracted by noise. Some people are addicted to drama. They thrive on quick opinions, mindless entertainment, and shallow conversations. When you speak with insight or bring up higher truths, they feel uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because your presence reminds them of everything they've been ignoring. Your thoughts reflect the things they don't want to face in themselves. This is why the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was rejected by many in his own time. He spoke truth, He invited people to think, to reflect, to worship the one true God. But instead of embracing his words, many mocked him, attacked him, and called him a liar, not because the message lacked wisdom, but because the hearts receiving it were not ready. Allah himself says in the Quran, "You do not guide whom you love, but Allah guides whom He wills." Surah Al-Qasas 28:56. This ayah reminds us of a powerful truth. Guidance and understanding come only from Allah. You can share, you can speak, you can even cry in frustration. But in the end, only Allah can open someone's heart and allow them to understand what you're trying to say. So if you've ever felt misunderstood, out of place, or like you're too much for certain people, take that as a sign that you've outgrown the environment around you. You were never meant to shrink yourself just to be accepted. You were meant to protect the gift Allah gave you, the depth of your mind and the clarity of your heart. Stop pouring your wisdom into cups that can't hold it. Stop explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Protect your energy. Save your words for those who are sincere, those who genuinely want to grow because they exist. And when they find you, your words will land exactly where they're meant to. Until then, be content with being quiet. Be content with being alone, and trust that Allah sees the patience it takes to stay kind, calm, and wise in a world that often values noise over truth. Your role is not to convince everyone. Your role is to carry the light of truth, even if only a few recognize its glow. 7. When Allah blesses you with intelligence, use it to serve, not show off. When Allah gives someone intelligence, wisdom, or deep understanding, it's never meant to be a weapon of pride. It's a trust, not a trophy, a responsibility, not a reward. And yet, many people fall into the trap of thinking that their intelligence makes them better than others. They start using it to show off, to dominate conversations, to make others feel small, instead of using it to uplift, guide, and heal. But that's not the way of the believer. That's not the path of the sincere. When Allah blesses you with insight, when He allows you to see through falsehood, to think clearly, to speak wisely, it's a sign of His mercy. And everything Allah gives, He can also take back. So the first rule of divine intelligence is humility. You must recognize that this knowledge isn't yours. It's on loan from Allah. He gave it to you not so you could show how smart you are, but so you could help others find their way. Imagine having a flashlight in a dark cave. That light isn't for you to blind others with. It's to help them walk safely beside you. That's what your intelligence is meant for, to guide, not to shame. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the most intelligent and insightful human being to ever walk the earth. Yet he was also the most humble. He never used his brilliance to humiliate others. He didn't mock the ignorant or look down on the weak. He met people where they were, spoke gently, and taught with compassion, even when others rejected him. That's the example we must follow. Your intelligence should make you more patient, not more proud. It should lead you to serve more, not speak more. It should inspire you to become a bridge, not a wall. You'll find many opportunities in life to use your intelligence to win arguments, impress crowds, or gain attention. But ask yourself, does this serve my ego or does this serve my purpose? Because only one of those paths leads to Allah's pleasure. The truly wise understand that every bit of intelligence they have is a tool, and tools are meant to build, not to destroy. You can use your words to build someone's faith, to repair a broken heart, to encourage someone who feels lost. Or you can use those same words to humiliate, argue, and elevate yourself. The choice reveals your intention. So, if you want your intelligence to be blessed, use it for good. Speak only when it benefits someone. Teach only when there is a listener ready to learn. Share your ideas in a way that lifts people up, not in a way that pushes them down. And always remind yourself, the smarter you become, the softer your heart should grow. Because the greatest sign of intelligence is not how much you know, but how well you serve. Not how loudly you speak, but how gently you walk. Not how much attention you attract, but how much light you leave behind. What matters most is not how intelligent the world thinks you are, but how sincerely you used your mind to please Allah and help others find Him too. Intelligence is not about having all the answers. It's about recognizing the source of all wisdom, Allah. When He chooses to bless you with clarity, understanding and insight, it's not for show. It's not so the world can praise you. It's so you can walk the path He designed for you, with patience, with purpose, and with humility. Yes, people may misunderstand you. They may mock your silence, question your choices, or label your calmness as arrogance. But that's okay, because true intelligence isn't proven by who applauds you. It's revealed by how you respond when no one understands you. You weren't created to fit in. You were chosen to rise, even if that means walking alone. Let them doubt you. Let them fear what they can't explain. Because what you carry is not of this world. It's from your Creator. So protect it, guard it, and most importantly, use it to serve. Speak with wisdom, act with intention, walk with humility, and never forget, the more Allah gives you, the more He's trusting you to use it with care. You don't need to prove your intelligence to anyone. Let your silence speak. Let your discipline shine. Let your actions reflect the light that Allah placed within you. That is the mark of true intelligence. Not loud, but powerful. Not proud, but purposeful. And always, always connected to the one who gave it. May Allah keep your heart sincere, your mind sharp, and your soul guided. Ameen.